Hey, Foster.
I'm not sure if we were recording yet. Can you say that one more time?
Hey, Foster. Hey, Foster.
Just wait 1 second. Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Foster.
It is raining right now. It is thundering, lightning, kind of scary. You know what that means?
No.
That means that if you had a normal English class in a traditional English school, you probably would not go because it's raining, thundering, all that stuff, right?
That's true. But with Cambly, you can have classes with sunny days, rainy days, cloudy days, spring days, autumn days, whatever.
Yeah, the weather does not affect your English. Honestly, it shouldn't really affect your English in the first place, but there are days when it's just kind of nasty outside and you want to stay at home and learn from the comfort of your own home, and you can do that with Cambly. Isn't that right, Alexia?
Sim, é super verdade. Então você que está procurando ser mais produtivo com o seu inglês, vá lá no Cambly.com ou no aplicativo do Cambly, se inscreve, coloca seu e-mail e o nosso cupom que vai te dar uma aula de graça, que é Inglês no e Cru Podcast. Dessa forma, você vai estar up to date, completamente conectado e muito, muito feliz com o seu inglês.
Okay, on with the show.
Hey, Foster.
There we go. Hey, Alexia, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I am doing very, very well, thank you. So this week on the show, we are taking a trip down memory lane. Do you understand that?
Trip down memory lane?
Yes. I am not sure where that phrase comes from, but that means you are just revisiting old memories.
But how do you say it like in a normal conversation?
You don't.
Okay.
But if you see like an old picture, or if someone says something that just reminds you of something that you have not thought about for a long time, you could say, wow, that is a trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Yeah, not super common, probably not very useful, but let's do it.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about the Airbnbs that we stayed in Asheville, right?
Yes. So our trip down memory lane means that we are just looking at all of the different Airbnbs that we have stayed in around the world and talking about some of our experience traveling, because the best way to learn English is to travel.
Yeah. And Asheville, this was my first time in Asheville. Foster was really, really excited that we were going there because it's one of his favorite cities in North Carolina, maybe in the United States.
Yes. I believe we've talked about Asheville on the podcast several times.
Yeah.
But just to clarify, Asheville is a small little mountain city in North Carolina.
Yeah, but it's not only that. Has the most amazing breweries, local culture. People from Asheville is amazing.
Ooh.
Is very liberal.
People from Asheville
What?
are amazing.
Sorry. People from Asheville are amazing. And
I'm not laughing at Alexia. I'm just having a moment of satisfaction because I remember so many times in Portuguese, I would say, gente são. São gente boa. Mas é gente boa. So in English, people is plural.
yeah.
In Portuguese, sometimes it's not, which is strange. But that's just part of our lives.
Yes. And it's a liberal city as well, right?
It's a liberal city in a conservative state.
Yeah.
Yes. So like I said, we stayed in 2 different Airbnbs in Asheville with 2 totally different experiences.
Yes, and it was during the same period, right? We started in one and then we moved to the other.
Yes, I don't really remember why we did that.
Because the second one didn't have dates available. And you were like, okay, let's see if we can find a very cool place, like a tree house situation in the mountains, and that's it. So this is our first Airbnb in Asheville, the mountain tree.
The mountain tree.
Yeah.
You could say that, I guess. Yeah, so 2 things. First, I'm always looking for like a cool treehouse situation. I just think it's awesome. But I think this is a good, important thing to think about if you are renting a place on Airbnb or any apartment or hotel, that pictures can be deceiving.
Yes, and even nowadays that you can Photoshop everything.
Yeah, but not even Photoshop.
But
just
use those...
a wide angle lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this place we stayed, essentially it was kind of like a tree house, but it was just a strange cabin in the woods, and it looked beautiful. It was beautiful, but...
The main house was beautiful, not the place that we were staying.
Yeah, so what we didn't recognize was there was a main house, and then we were staying in a tiny little room behind the house. And when I say tiny little room, it was super small.
Yeah, like if you chose to relax a morning there or an afternoon there, you couldn't because it didn't have room for 2 people.
Yeah. I remember the bathroom situation was very small bathroom and very close to the bed, very close to everything because super small. So a very important thing for me personally is having my private space in the bathroom.
Yes, but the view from the room was amazing. It was beautiful. And that's why I said it's a house tree, because the house was vertical.
Tree house.
Não. O que eu falei antes?
You said mountain tree.
Yeah, that's why I said mountain tree, because the house was vertical, remember?
Yeah, but a mountain tree would be referring to a type of tree in the mountains.
Yeah, and the house looked like a tree in the mountain. That's why I'm explaining. I didn't make a mistake, like I really created this.
Adore your creativity.
Yes. And the house itself, it was of a family. So I think that there were kids there. Very noisy. Do you remember that?
Yes. So there was a family staying in the main house. I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure they did not own the house. They were also renting. And I have no idea where they were from, but they did not speak English or any language that I could recognize. So that was kind of a strange situation.
Yeah, so I wouldn't stay there again.
I probably would not stay there again. But all in all, it was a good experience.
Yeah, to see what we won't do in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand the phrase all in all?
Mm-hmm.
How would you translate that?
De qualquer forma.
All in all, for me, is like, ao final das contas.
No final das contas.
No final das contas. Obrigado.
Yeah. And then we moved to our favorite Airbnb in Asheville.
Yes. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, so it was, I don't remember the neighborhood at all, but I remember that we had to like go up a mountain as well.
I don't think it was a neighborhood. It was in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, and there is this house, two stair house.
2 floors.
Yeah, 2 floors house. What? 2 floor house?
You could just say the house had 2 floors, and sometimes we also say 2 stories.
Yes, 2 stories. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just laughing that you're adding house to a lot of things. So you're saying like mountain tree, house tree, Floor house.
But there were 2 stories. Yeah. And the first floor, it was an Airbnb, and the second floor, it was the second Airbnb as well.
Right. 2 separate Airbnbs.
Yes. And the owners. The owners.
There we go. We will continue. This is really why we're talking about Airbnb, because I know Alexia will have to say own or owner many, many times. Will fix it.
They were there, but they had a mini house.
In English, normally we would say a tiny house.
Yeah, a tiny house. And I remember that they were business owners as well from a travel agency in Africa. Remember that?
Yeah, they did some like ecological safaris in Africa, and they make money by renting the house in the Airbnb. They live in a teeny tiny little house, literally a tiny house, behind the Airbnb with a nice garden, and I think spend most of their time in Africa doing whatever they do there.
Safari.
Yeah, super interesting people. Very nice.
And the Airbnb was so good. So good. The bed was amazing. The bathroom was so good because it had heated floors and
heated floors
and heated place hanger towels. I have no idea how you say that.
Yeah, they had a heated towel rack, I believe is the way we would say that. I think, yeah, maybe one day if I was a millionaire and I just wanted to spend money on something stupid, heated bathroom floors.
Ah, that's a game changer.
It is definitely not a necessity, but it's pretty nice getting out of the shower and you're a little bit cold and you put your feet on the floor and you think, ooh.
And Asheville is very cold during winter. Extremely cold.
Yes, it is.
So I would spend this money if I were there.
One day.
One day,
mi amor.
One day. But what do you remember from that house, that Airbnb?
The heated floors in the bathroom and the tiny house and the owners. So a couple of things.
And the garden.
Yeah, the yard was really nice.
Full of birds.
Yeah. Just a couple of things to give a nice summary of this episode. First, if you're staying in Airbnb, read the reviews and don't trust the pictures as much as reviews, because pictures can be a little bit deceptive sometimes. Secondly, heated floors in the bathroom are awesome.
Yes.
Third, I think tiny houses are awesome. And Alexia and I disagree with this a lot, but I think the idea is all... This is for another episode. We will talk about tiny houses one day, not today. Anything you want to add, Alexia?
So the first one, it's a no, and the second one is a huge yes to go back.
Cool. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about Asheville, we have things on the blog. Alexia's talked about all the best things you can do. We have several episodes. It will all be in the show notes. You can listen to that wherever you're listening to this. Yeah. I am not making sense now. Let's stop here. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye. Oi, pessoal, muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio do Inglês no Micro Rádio. A gente fica muito, muito feliz quando vocês estão aqui conosco. E você que quer continuar recebendo novidades e recebendo recursos grátis, vai lá no nosso site e você vai encontrar tudo isso. Além disso, você vai saber quando que Sound School vai abrir para se tornar nosso aluno do melhor curso de inglês online que existe nesse mundão. Então é isso. Muito obrigada de novo por fazer parte da família Inglês no Micro Rádio e te espero no próximo episódio.